Hi, I'm Andy Jago, pastor of Bethany Lutheran Church and Preschool, and here I am outside of good old 2501 Beacon Hill Road in Alexandria, Virginia. And here at Bethany Lutheran Church and Preschool, we're seeing signs of spring all around us. I mean, just take a look at our first daffodils that are coming up out of the ground. We're hearing birds sing, we're seeing blossoms on the trees and on our forsythia bushes. And the days are lengthening as we just began the season of Lent, which prepares us for that spring celebration of Easter time. So what an unusual time. You may feel a bit odd if you're unprepared. And you come in the church this Sunday and we are talking about the birth of Jesus and maybe even singing a Christmas song or two. But we're going to have a little bit of fun by bringing some Christmas into March this Sunday. And why are we doing that? Because this is the major turning point in this spiritual growth series that we've been involved in called The Story. So our church throughout the year has been using this book called The Story, published by Zondervan, as an outline to walk through the main narrative of the Bible. One of the things that I've been saying is that each chapter where we get the story of Abraham, we get the story of Joseph, we get the story of the judges of Samson and Deborah and Gideon, but these stories are leading us into a larger story. The major thing that is going on throughout the whole Bible is this resolution to the problem that sin separates us from God. Well, God is going to resolve that. And he does so as we get into this next chapter, chapter 22, and that resolution begins with the birth of Jesus. So yes, it'll be Christmas all over again as we come together this Sunday at Bethany Lutheran. And now to prepare, read chapter 22 of the story, read chapters 1 and 2 and of the Gospel of John and Luke, and chapters 1 and 2 of Matthew as well. If you want the reading assignments for each week, you can visit www.bethany, BETHANY, -LCMS.org, and then /the story. And that tells you more about this spiritual growth program that we're doing and gives you the assigned readings to help us prepare for worship each week. And even if you don't have time to do that this week, I think you're familiar with the readings and you're going to be able to have some fun in our Sunday school for all ages at 8:45 and our worship at 11 o'clock. And this Sunday, we're inviting all of our preschool families. We hope that there'll be some good attendance to hear the children sing in preschool, and that you'll stay afterward for some fun and fellowship, for a little potluck brunch that we're having to have fellowship with both communities together. But if you are preparing this week and you take a look at those chapters, if you've been going through this program with us, you'll be able to connect to some earlier themes that we've seen in the story, like the kingdom. Jesus fulfills the promise that God makes to King David. And there's this connection that is there to David's kingdom. So look for that in our chapter. Look for a mention of Egypt in this chapter, kind of like a second Exodus, if you will. Look for the contrast between light and darkness. This chapter 22 begins with John chapter 1. The light shines in the darkness, but the darkness has not overcome it. What a wonderful verse, not only for Christmas time, but for now in the springtime as well, as we prepare our hearts and minds for Easter. And when we get to the end of this chapter, this is what the sermon will focus in on. It will be Jesus in the temple. We've seen the temple in previous chapters of the story, and we've heard how God will promise that his glory will dwell there. Well, how does this 12-year-old child show God's glory in the temple? And what does he mean when he says to his parents, "Did you not know that I would be in my Father's house?" We're going to explore that a little bit when we come together for worship this Sunday. Well, I hope you'll be able to join us for a little Christmas in March this Sunday at Bethany Lutheran Church and Preschool, and that you'll be able to stay for a little fellowship and fun after the worship as well. So may the Lord bless our hearing, reading, marking, learning, and as we say in one of our prayers, inwardly digesting, appropriate for the brunch coming up, I suppose, inwardly digesting of his holy word. Hope to see you on Sunday.